Look at this distinguished gentleman. Look at the way he is sitting. So Nigel and I are here to catch up on some book reviews. And well, I'm here to do that. He's here to whack me in the face with his tail. Today the book we're looking at it's got a long title, The Book Woman of Troublesome Creek. Oh my goodness, Nigel. So I'm going to go ahead and read you the synopsis on Goodreads here on my phone, and then we will get into the review, if I live. In 1936, tucked into the woods of Troublesome Creek, Kentucky, lives a blue-skinned 19-year-old Cussie Carter, the last living female in the rare Blue People ancestry. The lonely Appalachian woman joins the historical Pack House Library Project of Kentucky and becomes a librarian, riding across slippery creek beds and up treacherous mountains on her faithful mule to deliver books and other reading materials to the impoverished hill people of eastern Kentucky. Along her dangerous route, Cussie, known to the mountain folk as Blewett, confronts those suspicious of her damsonfly blue skin and the government's new book program. She befriends hardscrabble and complex fellow Kentuckians and is fiercely determined to bring comfort and joy, instill literacy, and give to those who have nothing a bookly respite, a fleeting retreat into faraway lands. Some of you may remember that a while ago I read another book. It was called Upright Women Wanted, which had a similar kind of vibe to this, at least in the description. Women on horseback delivering library books. That one was like a future western, apocalypse western. This one is historical fiction, and I was really intrigued to learn about the things that this book was based on. So if you want to go down a delightful rabbit hole, I definitely recommend you research both this horseback library program and the Blue People of Kentucky, because both of them are real, and both of them are fascinating. I'll try to leave some resources linked in the doobly-doo if future me remembers. If I forget, feel free to just poke me. So I was hyped when I found this one because you may recall that I was not terribly impressed with Upright Women Wanted. It left me wanting. So I was excited to check out this one and see if it did a better job with women on horseback delivering library books. Except less queer. This one was not very queer at all. Unfortunately, while this book did have some qualities that interested me, ultimately it was pretty disappointing. I really am not super into a main character whose one trait seems to be is hated. Like, I get it. She has blue skin, that's weird. People are racist, and they're racist against her as well. They don't like black people, they don't like blue people. White people suck. Fact. Her two traits are basically loves books and is hated, and I really wish that she had a little bit more depth to her. She doesn't really want a lot of things, which I guess is fine, but she more is characterized by what she doesn't want than necessarily what she does. She doesn't want to get married, she doesn't want to be treated like a second-class citizen. For me, she wasn't the best hero, but I could see other people really liking her, so I guess it could kind of go either way. I just felt that she was a little bit, I don't even know if bland is the right word. Like, I was missing something from her that would have made me really like her. Did love her mule, though. Her mule was awesome. Animal characters for the win. The mule does live, I will say that, but there is some abuse that happens to the mule that I am not cool with. We spend a lot of time just following her book route. This book doesn't really have a plot. This book really kind of exists just to inform you about what life was like back then, and watch this girl go around to these different very poor people, very poor communities, see how they were living or how they were dying, and just experience that. There's not really a strong plot. There were a few bigger events that happen, but it's just mostly following her around on her day-to-day, and frankly that can get kind of boring. And I think a little bit was also the writing style. I wouldn't say this author's style is bad, but if you combine this author's style with a book that doesn't have a plot, the read, or in my case the listen, was really not terribly fun. Boring is the word for it. A lot of times it was boring. I'm not really sure how to feel about a few things that we do see in this book of the way that she's treated. Like I said, there is racism. The white people don't like the black people or the blue people, but a lot of times we see the main character being treated worse than black people, and sometimes she's actually actively jealous of black people. And as a white person myself, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I am incredibly white. I just don't know if a black person reading this book would be annoyed that somebody would be like, man, I wish I was a black person back then when they were also being treated terribly. I don't know, it just seemed a little bit weird to me, but I'm white, so what the fuck do I know? But just go into the book knowing that. There are some trigger warnings for bad things that happen in this time period. A lot of death. A lot of abuse, starving children, if that's a thing that you don't want to see happening on the page. It's mostly spousal abuse and starving children, so, you know, that's exciting. But the nice book lady comes to bring them their books. This is really, if you are into misery porn, this might be the book for you. Not in that it's sexy, but in that everybody is very miserable and they never stop. So if you just want to read about some good old-fashioned misery, just slogging through the day-to-day misery of the very poor people in this place, this might be your book. I'm not as into that, but maybe you are. I really wish, like I said, that there had been a little bit more that the main character was driving for. She does have goals. I mean, she wants to be a librarian first and foremost. That's what she wants to do more than anything. But she does that through most of the book, even though people are trying to stop her sometimes. And she just does that, and you watch her do that. So it feels like she's kind of already achieved her dream, and her main dream is to just keep doing her dream. The side characters are also just like this side of being interesting to me. I wouldn't say necessarily that they're flat characters, so much as their lives are basically consumed with just trying to survive and not be as absolutely miserable at all times as they could be, and so there's not really a lot else to them for us to see. If you're gonna write a story, maybe you embellish a little bit, maybe you give a few more of them some hopes and dreams. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I don't read enough historical fiction. Yes, The Book Woman. Better than Upright Women Wanted. Still not the perfect women riding around delivering library books on horseback that I apparently want and need in my life. So if there is another book with this premise, please send it my way because I am dying to find it. I want rogue women on horseback delivering books. Like, I don't know why, but I want it. I mean, yes, I know why I want it. I'm a woman, I love horses, and I love books. That's my dream job, and I want to read about it. Thanks for watching this review. I'm sorry that Nigel has abandoned us. He's left the room. He just, I guess, decided he was done. That he had hit me in the face with his tail enough times and he could leave. But hey, remember how I mentioned in this story that there was a spunky mule? Well, if you like stories with sassy animals, especially horses, you can check out my book, The Wolf and the Hawk, available now on Amazon. Will I find a way to plug my book in every single one of my videos? Probably. Will I ever be subtle about it? No. Don't forget that I post new videos here at least twice a week. All the links to my social media are in the doobly-doo for ease of your clicking, and I will see you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye! It has come to my attention that there may be a few people left in the world who do not know who my patrons are, and this will not stand. My patrons are Belle, Anne Sophie, Callison, Ray, Artemis, Shelby, Zaire, Jesper, Irene, Scribbling Cat, Savvy, Jenny, Amanda, Lisa, Sarah, Anna W., Anna C., Light Julie, OS, Lennox, Kit, Hayden Glade, and Persephone. There, consider yourselves educated on the best people in the whole world. You're welcome. But I'll just read a book instead. I don't care if we're just friends. I can hang out with myself. But I am off now to pretend. But I'll just read the book instead.